What's up, Crew Excellence? What's up with you, man? It's your boy, Justin Strickland, and I'm back with another dope episode, man. I am just super excited to be here before you today because it's just a fun thing that I get to do. It's talk to y'all about leadership. And so make sure you like, subscribe, and share. That was an easy thing. I was talking to somebody this week, and I realized they were a hater. They told me this, like, hey, man, they weren't talking about my podcast, but they was like, I watch a podcast every single week. I watch it so much that the algorithm tells me when a new one comes out, but I don't subscribe and I don't like none of the episodes, even though I think they're great. And I said, oh, you're a hater. Don't be a hater. You know what I'm saying? Like and subscribe and share with somebody. It don't cost you zero. Don't cost you nothing, man. So I appreciate that. Appreciate you for hanging out with me today. Got a dope episode. A lot of times, a lot of these episodes really just come from conversations that I have with throughout my life, throughout my week. And I'm like, oh, that would be a dope thing to teach on. And so today I'm gonna talk about the purpose of leadership, because I'm realizing the more and more I'm talking to people and they're sharing their interactions with leadership and how those things have impacted them professionally, personally. I realize that a lot of people in leadership are missing the purpose of it. And so today I want to talk about the purpose of leadership, because the purpose of leadership is to make life easier for the people you serve. So that's whether you're a politician, a teacher, a principal, a banker, coach. Doesn't matter what position or industry you find yourself in. Excellent leaders make life easier for those they serve. And the reason I thought this was good to talk about, because this is what I keep seeing. I keep seeing people believe that leadership is about getting to a place where you can make life easier for you. And so you make more money, you have to do less work. If there's anything that requires more, you push that off onto other people because you're the leader. And that is not the type of leadership that we subscribe to here at the Hope Institute. That is not the type of leadership that we believe to fall into that category of excellence, because we follow the servant leadership, or the ideal that those that are lead should be serving others. And so make life easier for the people you serve is the purpose, is the mission of all leadership. And I'm gonna tell you 3 ways you can do that. The first way is provide information. So this is one of the easiest ways you can make life easier for the people you serve. During onboarding, provide all the information they need to do their job well. If the better equipped people are with knowledge, the more easy it is for them to apply that in their day-to-day work. And so as a leader, you should know the best practices for your industry, and those should be included in your onboarding, so that someone who may not have never done this job will have the requisite information to do it well. Even if they're not great at it right away, even if they're not the best at it right away, you provide enough information so they can do it well and learn as they go. And so make sure you know the best practices. You should be the expert. If you are a leader, if you're not the expert, you should be able to find the experts and connect them to your people. So whatever that looks like, that's what you should do. You should provide training and development. I'm on LinkedIn every day, and I get to talk to people about their leadership development experiences. And there are so many people that have been in positions for 3 years, 5 years, and have never had a single leadership development experience. They've never had any training that pertains to them growing as leaders. And I think that's sad. And I think that is it's wrong. It's a disservice, because because everybody benefits if everybody's a better leader. And so not developing your leaders just limits your growth as a team, as an organization. And so excellent leaders, in providing information, they create opportunities for training and development. And this point kind of comes with that too, is encourage growth. And so part of providing information is, I'm telling you these things because I want you to grow. And so encourage your people to grow in their personal Rolodex, right? I want you to add skills to your life. I want you to add these tools to your life, so that even if you're not here, these are transferable skills. Me and my wife were talking the other day, and she was saying, like, she's had a job where she was on it for a while, and she didn't feel like the job did anything to help her grow any transferable skills. And so as a leader in any position, your role is to encourage growth so that your people have skills that help them in life. Because as a leader, you should care more about them as a person than them as an employee. That's what excellent leadership looks like. Okay, so provide information is number one. Number two is provide resources. See, this is a big one. I think we forget that part of being an excellent leader is giving the people what they need to be successful. And so sometimes that's money, right? Like making sure they have a budget. I remember I've been in positions, been on committees and in meetings, and we've come up with great things. And then I've asked, what's the budget? And people are like, oh, we ain't got no budget. So all these things that we want to do that cost money, we don't have any budget to accomplish those things. Why are we meeting? Okay, so provide resources for your team. Make sure they have the best tools. I was thinking about this coming into the pod. Like, coal mining is a hard job, right? As a leader, you cannot make that job easy, but you can make it easier. Making sure they have the best headlamps, making sure they have the best mining tool, making sure all the tunnels are checked out and that they're all safe, that they all meet all the standards for health, for the healthcare and for employment, shortening their days so that workers get rest so they can come back. Those are all things that are in your control that allow that you as a leader, your people will appreciate because you are making their life easier. You are making their work environment easier, and that is your job. And when you do that, you grow a sense of appreciation for the people that you're serving, which as a leader is honestly one of the best feelings. When you're leading someone who says, man, I appreciate the way you lead, it is a great feeling. And it's not why we do it, but it is icing on the cake. It's nice to have. It's nice to experience. And I talked about a little bit about work schedule. This is a low-hanging fruit that I feel like a lot of teams and organizations miss. And what I mean by that is we, as employees, right, across industries, we are very simple. And what I mean by that is most people do not mind working, which is why people are employed. Most people do not mind working at all. A lot of people like working. They like going to their job. But all people love time off. No matter what position you're in, no matter what industry you're in. As a leader, if you can find ways to get your people just a little bit of time off, if it's one Friday a month, if it's late start on a couple Mondays, every other Monday, they don't have to come in at 8 and come in at 10. If you get an extended lunch where you don't plan anything, you just say on Wednesdays, y'all get 2 hours for lunch. Like little things like that. I know like one of my gigs, we have the break. We have holiday break. I'm sorry, I just froze. We have holiday break. In between Christmas and New Year's, we don't have to work. And this is the thing. We weren't going to do anything anyway. So a lot of times you giving this time off is helpful because we feel appreciated and we're grateful, and we weren't going to be very productive anyway, because that's our slow time as far as my industry. And so as a leader, find those places where you can say, hey, take Friday off, last Friday of every month, y'all off. Go enjoy a 3-day weekend. Your people will love you for that. They really will. Or this is even a better thing. Give people their PTO. I've been talking to people who work for different companies, and you have to get your PTO approved. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I earn PTO, and I'm telling you I'm not going to be here. What you mean you got to approve it? It's my PTO. I earned it already. I heard somebody say PTO means prepare the others. I ain't going to be here. So you need to make sure everybody else, whoever going to be here, is ready. So that's something easy that don't even require nothing from you. Somebody put their PTO in, you hit approve and say, have a great time. Don't answer no emails. Stuff like that really goes a long way. And I think we underestimate how powerful that can be to retaining talent, because that's leadership. Great, excellent leaders retain talent longer than they should. There are people who will work for people 2 years, 3 years, 5 years past when they outgrew their position because they love the leadership. And that's what excellent leadership can do. And the last thing, then number 3, remove obstacles. As a leader, you should be standing in the gap for the people you serve. Removing obstacles, things that get in the way of them performing their best, their job duties at their best level. For example, if you are in, I always say like, if you are education adjacent, some of them companies want people to be in the office. That is a barrier. If you're supposed to be working with kids in a school, but they want you to be in the office all day, you can't do both. Remove the barrier. Tell them, get out the office, go to the school. Like, leadership does that. Leadership says, instead of you going to this meeting, I'll go to this meeting and I'll report back. Leadership says, hey, we had this initiative and it didn't go well. Instead of them coming down on you, I'll take the blow for that, and I'll let them know it was my decision and that you were just doing your best, so you make sure that relationship isn't broken. Like, that's what leadership looks like. Leadership looks like thinking about when you make a policy, when you make a decision, thinking about how will this impact the people that have to implement it. Right? Like, I think about that all the time as I'm trying to make decisions, is who will be impacted by this decision, and will it impact them positively or negatively, and why? And I make a decision with that in mind. And I think a lot of times people don't. A lot of leaders are making decisions for themselves that make their lives easier, but that's not the point of leadership. Leadership is about making others' lives easier. And so in that regard, when you make a decision, a lot of times it's easy. Just ask. A lot of times it's like, hey, I'm thinking about this. What are some things I should be aware of as I'm coming to a policy, as I'm coming to a new policy, as I'm implementing a new path going forward? Tell me what things you believe I should be aware of, and that would make your job harder. And asking those questions can allow you to make policies that remove obstacles, because you've done just a little pre-work before you made a decision that impacts others. And so I think that if you're a leader and you're in roles of influence, in positions of influence, which spoiler alert, is everybody, I think your job is to make people you serve life easier. I say this all the time to young men as they're moving towards marriage. Is like, your job is to make it so easy for your wife to be the best version of herself. You are to remove every obstacle that you can that will hinder her from being the best version of herself. Under your leadership, your wife should become an absolute superstar. And if you don't like the way that sounds, then you need to retool your view of leadership. You might need to roll back your perspective of what it looks like and to relearn what real leadership is, because that's what real leadership is. Real leadership says, I'm going to get out the way. I'm going to move other things out the way so that you can be the best version of yourself. And in doing that, I have done my job. Right? I think I've been around sports a lot, and I've always said that's what makes professional coaches so good. Is they're really, really good at being like, let me get out the way and let my players be great. They're really, really good at saying like I think Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are a great example. Andy has play calls, but if Pat goes off script and does something incredible, Andy doesn't say, Pat, you never do that again. I call the plays, run exactly how. Within the play structure, there is space for Patrick to be great. And that's how we got to view our leadership. Is yes, we provide structure, but within that structure, it shouldn't be suffocating. There should be space within the structure for those we serve to be great. And so go out and do that this week. Leave a comment. Tell me which one of the 3 you think can make your life easier. If it's information, if it's resources, or if it's obstacles, which one is standing in the way of you becoming better in your position, and which one you think you can implement this week that will help somebody else. And as always, it's a privilege to hang out with you. YouTube is crazy. It's so many people posting content. Podcasts are crazy. So many people with a mic, especially in relationship people. I wish their mics would implode. But we are here, and you are here, and you hanging out with me, and I'm grateful. And until next time, man, it's your boy Justin Strickland, the favorite Crew Excellence member. Just ask your granny and your auntie. They love your boy, man. I'm out of here. Peace.